Step 1 is verify the tonnage on the outdoor unit. We got a 2-ton here. Also verify the tonnage of the indoor section. This is an air handler, also a 2-ton. Sometimes these will be half a ton larger, but more on that in a different video. Next, notate the orientation of the unit. Is it an upflow? Is it a downflow? Is it a horizontal? Then perform a visual inspection of the ductwork. Look for things like air leaks, darkened insulation around returns. How is it supported or strapped? Are there remote plenums, ductboard boxes? Is there excessive length? Very relaxed, not stretched tight. Are there unnecessary transitions? Is it falling apart? Is it kinked? After the visual inspection, next we want to determine the size of our supply ducts. There's 2 8-inches in this case. Then we want to determine the size of our return ducts. In this case, there's a single 12-inch. Now it is time to calculate our CFM deficit. Draw a sketch of the home, draw all of the supply registers, and all of the return registers. It is very important to notate at this point, our only concern is going to be with what is connected to the plenum. We had one 12-inch return and 2 8-inch supplies. Calculate your required CFM for a 2-ton. 2 times 400 equals 800 required CFM. Next, use your duct calculator or the chart that came with the purchase of this duct design kit. Use 400 feet per minute for your returns. So a 12-inch duct at 400 feet per minute gives us 330 CFM. Next, take the required CFM of 800, subtract that from the 330, and that will leave us a 470 CFM deficit. Now we need to calculate the CFM deficit on the supply side. So we had 2 8-inch ducts. We're going to use 700 feet per minute on the supply side. 8 inches, 700 feet equals 195 CFM per duct. Let's multiply that times 2, which equals 390. Then we're going to take our 800 CFM minus 390, giving us the deficit of 410 CFM. All right, so now we've calculated the deficit. It's time to design our ductwork per manufacturer's specs. So let's get it. Use the chart at 400 feet per minute and look for a duct that has the CFM value close to our CFM deficit. In this case, we were 470 short. A 14-inch is exactly what we need. We're going to go ahead and draw out an example here of how we may run this 14-inch additional return. You really need to invest in the master class or whisper class to understand that more in depth. The focus on this affordable class is really just getting your duct size properly at the plenums for both the supply and the return. As you can see, we had an existing 12-inch and a 14-inch now. There was a time in the industry where just adding returns was all the rage, but if we don't modify the supply side, all that does is push that static pressure over on the supply side. So if you know your system has high static already, say 0.8 or over 1 inch of water column is terrible, definitely modify supply and return always. Now let's design our supply side. Let's look at 700 feet per minute on our chart. And again, let's look at the deficit. We had a CFM deficit of 410. We go down the chart, 700 feet per minute, 12 inches, 425. I also like to go ahead and divide our deficit by 2 and see what number might equal close to the deficit. In this case, 410 divided by 2 equals 205. I'd look at my 8-inch ducts here, right around 195. So 2 8-inch ducts would be a great choice to add, or a single 12-inch duct. All right, so let's show you an example of how we might lay out our supplies. We're going to go ahead and run an 8-inch home run to this grill, another 8-inch home run to this grill. That's our 390 that we originally had. And now we're going to run a 12-inch. Now this is where interacting with your customer is very important. These 2 rooms over here on the right side happen to be the hottest rooms in the house, so we're going to increase the airflow over to that side significantly by running a 12 10 8 8 or 12 10 8Y and then a 10 8 8Y. So at our plenum, we're going to have a 12-inch duct, which is good for 425. We got 2 8-inches, totaling 390, gets us to a total of 815 CFM right there, folks. And there you have it. We hope you found this very helpful and purchase some of our swag from our shop on TikTok. Go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel too.